Ariel Helwani in Chicago, Illinois, getting set for UFC 225. Sitting next to Chicago's own CM Punk, who is just days away now from his return to the UFC. He meets Mike Jackson Saturday night on pay-per-view at the United Center in Chicago. We have done these interviews before in this very city.
Yeah.
Before UFC cards.
Yeah.
But you never fought on one of those UFC cards before.
Nope.
This is different.
A little bit.
We've come a long way.
Hey, it's a new day. Everything's a little different now.
Yes.
Everything's different.
How are you?
I'm great.
It has been a long time since Lord knows I bothered you a lot.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time since we've spoken.
Yeah, it's a good bother though. I never mind. This is so much. I don't know if you ever get offended when you ask me to come on your show and I say no, because this is so much better. I love talking to somebody in person and being able to, like, human interaction and Skype and phone interviews and everything like that.
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
It's not. There's a lack of authenticity to it, and a lot of them are the same, and it's repetitive. But the interviews with me and you, I feel, they're always a little bit special.
I appreciate that very much. That means a lot. I can't imagine how you're feeling on this Wednesday before your return to the UFC. Not only because you're fighting in your hometown, that means so much to you, but because of what happened yesterday.
Yep.
Is it possible to even put into words what that victory meant for you? The fact that you won via unanimous decision, as your friend Colt Cabana put it, against your former employer in the defamation lawsuit. What does that mean? The fact that you're finally vindicated after all these years, 4 years.
Man, yeah, I don't know if I have the words. I don't know if it would properly convey. I also don't know if I fully fleshed out exactly how I feel. I do know it was probably the first time, maybe not the first time, but definitely, one of 3 times or something like that where I actually lost control of my emotions. I always try to stay pretty even keel and locked in the moment, but when you're waiting for a judge to utter words that literally decide the course of the rest of your life, and I didn't contemplate, well, what happens if I lose? Because losing wasn't an option, not because of any other reason except because I told the truth. But the legal system can be confusing, and having to have sat there for days and days and days and, listen to the way they try to bend things to fit certain laws that are all just confusing and stuff that, I'm out of my element, and I'm just like sitting there just like scared out of my mind, and my wife is there, and I'm standing up and I'm looking at everybody, and all of a sudden, like, everything's just like, it's happening, it's funny, we were eating lunch, and we were just eating lunch. I didn't know if it was gonna get figured out that day, or if they're gonna order dinner and stay late, or if they're gonna go home, come back the next day. I had no guarantees, so we were just down the street, like, eating lunch, and I wasn't eating. Everybody else was eating, and I was just, like, sitting there. So I got up to go get a coffee, and then I got a text from April. It said, "Verdict's in," and I was just like, whoa, okay. And the only thing I can compare it to was sitting in a locker room, and somebody comes and gets me, and they're like, "It's time to walk," and I'm walking down the street, and my entire team of lawyers is just these badass women. So I go, my wife's there, and the 3 lawyers, and I go, "Ladies," I go, "and I know you didn't ask," I go, "but this is what walking to the cage to fight another human being feels like. This is it. This is exactly it. You're walking. Did I do everything? Did these people do everything in their power to make sure that I'm fully prepared for what's about to happen?" And then, getting in there, and it's just like, part of you's like, "Come on, let's go," and part of you's like, "Oh, hold on," and then you're doing this, and And they read Scott's verdict first, and they found him unanimously in his favor. And I was just like, that was my main goal. I walk through life and I try to shield the ones I love, and he was. I felt the whole thing was frivolous, but, like, me, I was like, well, leave this guy alone. What do whatever. But, and then they read the verdict, and I lost it. And April came out of nowhere and and hugged it, and I didn't know what to do. I knew it was good news, but I didn't know. Okay, so what happens next? I didn't know what to do. I was just, man, I'm sick of being scared about it. I'm sick of worried about it. I'm sick of crying about it, and it was just, there's nothing I could do to stop it. Just pure emotion, boom. And then to hear her cry, and she's sobbing about it. And she's just like, I'm so happy for you. And I'm like, I'm happy for us. I really feel like I can finally get on and move on and continue with the rest of my life. Something that I've been trying to do since 2013.
And so it's over. Nothing. You don't have to pay anything.
I don't have to pay anything. It would be fantastic. I spent a lot of money defending myself.
Do they cover that?
They're not. I would have to file my own lawsuit.
Okay. Are you going to?
Man, it's not. I don't think it's my style. I don't know what I'm going to do. This whole experience has taught me a lot. It's especially taught me that I'm on the fence. It's like money is just paper, but that was my life's work, and I do think it was intentionally done just to bleed me of money. That's neither here nor there. It's over. So there's a big part of me that's just like, it's over. Just let me leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with you. That's how negative that situation is. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm probably just, I just want to be over here and be happy. Sure. So I'm probably just going to stay over here and be happy.
Why did it have to be this week and not a month ago or next month or 2 months?
It was supposed to start earlier than it did, and all I was told was they were filing motions and stuff got delayed. And then
Do you think they tried to make it this week to mess with your fight?
It's an easy thing to speculate and say yes to. And I don't know if you know them and if you've worked there, it makes a lot of sense. But I don't know.
What would have happened if you lost and then had to fight? Like mentally, emotionally, were you worried about how it would affect your fight?
I don't know if those thoughts ever crept into my head, because like I said, I felt shielded by the fact that I had lived through this awful experience, and I told my story, and then somebody decided to sue me for defamation based on real life events that really occurred, a dangerous situation in my case, health-wise. So there was that part of me that's just like, all I gotta do is get on the stand and tell the truth. When April was nervous, that's what I told her. When Scott was nervous, because we're human beings. We're not trying to go up there and lie, but you put on the stand and you're just like, this, and then there's Scott, who's never been in trouble in his life, and like, he's total fish out of water, and I really just felt shielded by the truth, the honesty, because what could go wrong? How could you dispute these facts?
If this was any other week, you'd probably be relaxing now, decompressing. Oh God, what a load off, right? But now you have to get ready for a fight.
I'd be north of 200 pounds right now.
Yeah, eating pizza, right? What's going on up here now? Are you able to move past this and focus on what's going on? Do you feel like you need a couple more days? How are you digesting all of this? You're good?
Let's fight tonight. I'm ready.
Do you feel, maybe this has added motivation, fuel to the fire?
It's helped me be hyper-focused.
Okay.
Because a lot of this was in my lawyer's hands. There's a lot of trust involved. I trust that you're doing your due diligence, and I seen it. I seen these ladies, texting me at 3 in.the morning. They're still at the office. I saw them every day for almost 2 weeks. At 8 in.the morning, walk to the courthouse, get done at 5, walk back, and work with them for another 3-4 hours, and then I go home and train. I was really good at compartmentalizing everything. I'd wake up early enough where I could do sprints. I would get that done. I'd shower up. I'd put my suit on, and I'd be off for the day. It definitely helped with food and water intake, because It definitely didn't help. I wasn't able to water load for this fight, so things are a little bit different with the weight cut. But I'm on point. I'm ready to go, and it's just I would get home and I would be so dog tired. But in my mind, I was like, you can't. No matter what happens on Saturday, you can't look back and be like, oh, if only I would have done that 90-minute, 2-hour bag workout after that one day in court. And it was just like, I was so exhausted. That put me in a great place where I could just focus. Because I think life, and especially fighting, is about being comfortable in uncomfortable situations. So at the end of the day, when I'm just shot and I'm fried and I miss my wife and I really just want to play with my dog, like, I'm in my basement, getting after it.
How much do you have left to cut?
I don't know. I wanted to weigh myself on the way out the door before I came here, but it's not a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like last time. I stay right around, and then it all just kind of creepily falls off. I float a lot of weight at night, so I could probably be eating and drinking a little bit more, but I just want to stay in range.
That night in Cleveland, I believe it was September 10th, almost 2 years ago, when you met with the media and you were very emotional and you were very honest about the experience, in the back of your mind, did you think that was it?
No.
You believed you'd get another chance?
I knew I'd fight again. I don't know if I thought it would be in the UFC, and I had a conversation with Dana the next day.
Really?
Yeah, and I think maybe I tell the story, and I've told it like once today already, and I think it can maybe sound like I was almost threatening, like, I'm going to go to Bellator. I didn't say anything like that. I just told him, I said, hey, business is business. Me and you were friends first. I know you are technically my boss now, but I get it. Like, if you're going to cut me. Don't worry about it. Don't let whatever friendship we have affect that decision. I said, just between you and me, I'm fighting again. It's either going to be for you or somebody else, So since then, it's just been the road to get back to here.
Did it take longer than you thought back then?
It took longer than I wanted. I got hurt again. There's always injuries. Certain things kept me out of the gym for longer than I wanted to be. There was the lawsuit. There's a lot of stuff going on.
And now you have Chicago, though.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
This is probably where the debut maybe should have happened in some people's eyes, but this works, right?
Maybe, but I think everything happens for a reason. There's a universe out there, and everything lines up every once and again, and I think this is lined up pretty damn good.
Have you thought about what it will sound like when you walk out there in front of your people?
I'm curious, because I think there's a chance that the place is full of MMA fans that don't like me. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think it's going to be like one of those old WWE shows where, I walk out and the place is just deafening. But I could be wrong about that too. I don't know. I'm curious to see. I like the unknown aspect of it.
Are you coming out to Cult of Personality?
I am.
All right.
Yeah.
Last time you wouldn't tell me.
I know.
I appreciate you
There's got to be a little bit of mystery here.
But this is nice. This is nice. No, it was phenomenal in Cleveland. I can't wait to hear what it sounds like in Chicago. And it's funny that you mentioned the fans, because in the world of pro wrestling, you were so respected. You were the hardcore fans guy, right? They loved you. You were their guy. You were the one who was never pushed, but you persevered. And here, at times, this, you're used as a butt of a joke, right? You're used to say, like, this guy 1-0, everyone has a say.
Right.
Does that bother you that you still don't get that respect, the fact that you stuck around? You could have walked away after the one-shot fantasy camp thing, but you still don't get that respect for persevering, for sticking around. For 4 years it's been since you've been in the UFC,
well,
right?
I'll answer your question with a question. Do you think I would have gotten that respect if I won that first fight?
I think a little more. You don't think so?
I don't. Do you think I'll get that respect if I win this fight?
A little more, no? You don't think
so?
You think you'll never get it?
No, I think there's people out there that are negative, and there's people out there that find joy in other people's, suffering, and that's more indicative of what's inside them than what's inside me or anybody else. And that's always going to be them, unless they change, And I don't live my life based on the opinions of somebody else. It's none of my business. The way I break it down. Oh, hey, so-and-so says you shouldn't be on the main card. And I go, oh God, did my wife say that? No? Oh. Right. Then who gives a fuck? Oh, wait, did my dog say it? No? Okay, who cares? With Duke, my coaches, my teammates? No, what do I care?
One thing that I notice is you never talk about Mike Jackson. It's almost like this is your own experience and he's just coming along for the ride and he can do whatever the hell he wants, but you never respond to him.
Yeah.
The tweets, the interviews, the insults, the videos. Why is that?
I don't pay attention to it.
But with Mickey, there was a bit of a back and forth. Here, it feels like there's a divide.
Yeah.
Do you not respect him?
Do I not respect Mike Jackson? No, I don't know Mike Jackson. You can't not respect somebody if you don't know him. I think the matchup makes sense, but I don't feel the need to. There's a lot of manufactured beef and personas in MMA, and that's just not me. And this is who I am. And it's it's ironic because in the fake world nobody was better at it than I am. And here everyone's like, well, why don't you do that? You do it so better. What's the point? We get to fist fight on Saturday, so there's nothing that I can say or do that will speak louder than the results and the potential that I know I'm capable of that I will show everybody on Saturday.
Before the debut, there was this documentary, 4-part series, there was footage. There's nothing on you now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've looked. Your teammates aren't posting things, very little stuff coming out of the camp. Is that by design?
Yeah, it's like one of those things. I learned to say no a long time ago, but I kind of relaxed that coming in. And I was like, okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do that. And this time I was just like, no. Oh, so-and-so wants to come to the gym and film it. No. I just, you know what I mean? I just want to focus on me. I help out, teammates when they're cutting weight or they need bodies and they're getting ready for their fights. And it's just like, yeah, I understand the thing, but I also know that, nobody ever used to let anybody record sparring. Nobody ever used to let anybody watch sparring, and I'm very much in that camp where, like, yeah, you don't need to see it. I understand there needs to be footage, and maybe sometimes, maybe next time it'll work out. This time it just didn't work out.
Do you feel more confident now as opposed to 2 years ago going into the fight? You've had the experience. You feel like a better fighter.
Yes.
A more seasoned fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Confident in your abilities.
Yeah.
Where are you better?
Better than CM Punk from 2 years ago? Everywhere.
Everywhere?
Easily. I think it's a cliche answer too, though, but yeah, how do you not get better?
Do you think you'll be nervous on Saturday?
I hope I am. I don't think I was nervous the first time.
Oh, really?
I think I was so chill. And I remember looking at Duke being like, what's up? Like, why, I don't know. And I'm feeling it now. I'm getting nervous now.
Okay.
Talking to you about it. And I think that's a good thing because there's nothing wrong with being nervous. There's nothing wrong with being scared. This is me naked in front of the world. And I got beat up last time. And now I'm giving it another shot in front of my hometown. So that's something. Man.
Win or lose, do you think you'll fight again after Saturday?
I don't know. That's an honest answer.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, because off the top of my head, I want to say yes. But it's the I don't know and the mystery behind it is more from a place of Sunday, the sun does not come up in my mind right now. That's how hyper focused I am on Saturday night. I don't know. I don't. It's just like this verdict. Everything's compartmentalized. So I'm not thinking about Sunday, and I'm not thinking about what ifs and maybes and the possibilities. I'm literally just thinking and running through scenarios in my head about Saturday night.
Two more things. Do you have a scenario that keeps coming up? Do you have a finish that keeps coming in your dreams when you're thinking about the fight? How do you envision this actually playing out?
I think the first fight, I said I like to say I was a realist, and I had visions, and sometimes in those visions I would lose, like literally just daydreams. And this time, no matter what I do, even if I try to put myself in a bad spot in the fight in my head, nothing nothing negative comes out of it. I find a way, you know, if I'm knocked down to get up. I find a way that if I'm rocked to recover. And that's just the honest truth. I visualize this and I don't see a negative outcome for myself.
What's amazing about this story is that the first time it was a guy chasing his dream, he left behind a great life to chase his dream. Now it's a guy who was knocked down and is coming back and is not taking no for an answer. So it's inspirational, and I give you a lot of credit for coming back. Don't hate me for asking this question, but every person, as I'm sure you saw some of the tweets, are you talking to Punk, are you talking to Punk, are you talking to Punk, ask me, are you talking to Punk, and ask me to ask you about September. And I know you've been asked about this before. Is there any chance?
Oh, the wrestling show?
Yes, and you know I don't watch it, but I'm doing it for them, for the people, and I know you. Is it done not happening, or you're just not addressing it?
Yeah, it's not. No, I'm not addressing it. It's just not happening.
Did they ask you?
Nobody has ever asked me, like straight up asked me, to come wrestle for them. Nobody. There's been not since I left it. There's been, oh hey, you know, if you ever wanted to do anything, and I know what this is going to sound like to a lot of people, and you know, everyone's always going to find a way to spin it to make sure whatever they want to have happen happens. But like, nobody's ever just been like, hey, here's the deal. We're having a show. We're going to pay you X amount. You're working this guy. What do you say? Yes or no? Nobody's ever done that. Everyone's always been like, hey, you know, if you want to ever maybe do something, you know, and to me, that's not
an offer.
That's absolutely not an offer.
Are you open to it if given a real offer?
I don't think so, but it's a hard question to answer. You know, a lot's happened this week. I could definitely tell you, if you asked me that question a week ago, when I felt like I still had a foot in the grave, so to speak, the answer is no. I don't want anything to do with it. You know, I feel like I'm out, and the future is yet to be written. It's a wide open book. It's my story to tell. I'm just being real, and you know me. I'm always honest with you. I'm always probably honest to a fault, and you know, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, no. You know, something might come up, some fun might be had, but right now my heart and my mind and my focus are 100% on Saturday and fighting. So does that mean fighting beyond Saturday? To me, yes.
Good luck, man. Can't wait.
Luck
Thanks so
is
much
for
for doing
losers.
God.
Every time.
I can't believe I did it. But you know what? I almost feel like it's good luck that I said that, because
I don't say it to everybody. They just say good luck, and I go,
God, I did it. I can't. I feel like I've actually done a good job of not doing it.
It's tradition.
Mazel tov.
Oh, shalom.
Thank you.
You're a mensch. All right.
Appreciate it, my man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. There he is, CM Punk.